Alrighty, good evening everyone. I'm Robert Falcione, the editor of hopnews.com, which is only online at hopnews.com. So we don't print, we just go online. As soon as we get the news, boom, it's yours. It's yours to view. This evening's show, live on Main, which appears every Friday night at 6 p.m. This evening we have Ferriter Wallace, the chair of the Hopkinton Marathon Committee, with us. And how appropriate for this time of year, and I really am so happy you could take time out of your busy schedule, because I know it is busy. We've seen one another around town during this time of year, and but you're busy all year, aren't you, with this?
Mm-hmm. It's really a challenge that we work with the BA all year long. Our official meetings, we have like 6 months of meetings, but people are working on their different various groups all throughout the year. So it is. The planning starts the day after the marathon.
Right. I've heard that before. Yeah. So now, what is it that the Hopkinton Marathon Committee does? I see security people like here and there, and do you arrange all that stuff?
Well, the police department works with the state police, the MEMA, federal agencies and everything. That's really, but they're represented on our committee. We have representatives from the police department, the fire department, Board of Health, the school department, and Parks and Rec, and as well as at-large members. So, but the police department, that's their bailiwick with the BAA and MEMA and all the agencies.
But are they all together separate? The security people, are they all together separate from you?
No, we all work together.
Okay.
You know, the chief and the two lieutenants, John Porter and Joe Bennett, they come to all our meetings, and we coordinate with the BAA. And a lot of the committee members are also BAA start team captains. And so everybody's really, everything's coordinated through the BAA in the town. What our job is really to look out the best interest of the town of Hopkinton. When the BAA wants to do something different, they'll run it through the committee, but all the other agencies or different departments as well. But it's a nice working relationship. It's really built over the years as the marathon has certainly evolved. I mean, I started, back when there was like 5,000 runners, and now to see 30,000 annually, it's pretty a big feat. And,
it sure is.
We're lucky in town because we have such great department heads. The Board of Selectmen and the town manager have also been so helpful. The BAA, the race director Dave McGilvery, Andy DeShane, Joe Robinson, Bob Barnaby, they all go to our meetings. We all compare.
Fantastic.
I attend organizing committee meetings in Boston in addition to all the meetings out here, but everybody just and Dave is always open to suggestions and things, and runs things by, like when there's measures of security or anything to be changed, he's always calling the chief or something, or Chief Slammin and things like that. I mean, everybody works together. It's really, I'm proud to be a member of it, and a lot of good people. And the thing is, we deal with a lot of nice people in town. I mean, I really want to give a shout out to the residents for their patience every year, and they're just marvelous, and all the businesses and everything. I mean, we have a great, great core group that partners like Labor's Training, Dell, EMC, CVS now, the Korean Presbyterian Church, where all the elites go through and everything. I mean, it's just...
And the school department too, right?
Yeah, and the schools. Al Rogers, the director of Buildings and Grounds, does a great job. And every school, like the Elmwood School, the high school, the middle school, everybody, they open up the center school, and the DPW. I mean, I gotta give kudos to the DPW. My Lord, this week with all the rain and everything has set them back. But I'll tell you, I just got an email from this morning from the highway manager, Mike Manzer, who's on our committee as well, and unbelievable what they do, and they're out straight. And you'll see them out there tomorrow cleaning up the common and everything. So they're kind of the unsung heroes in the background oftentimes, but they're the ones that really pull it together.
And they've for people who have been downtown and have seen what's going on, you know that an hour after the last runner is gone, this town's cleaned up like they were never here. And they do a fantastic job. You're right about that. Does your committee do anything about the? Now I know that that there is some sort of stipend that the BAA pays. Are you involved with that at all, or do you make separate requests for whatever your purposes are?
We are not. That's a gift to the town, but the expenses for police, fire, DPW, and other expenses schools are taken out of that gift, and then the remaining goes to the Marathon Fund Group, which supports or the prom or different athletic groups in town. I know they do something with the senior center with their exercise programs and everything. It goes far, but the expenses related to the marathon come out of that fund, and I believe it was $118,000 last year. It was a very generous gift to the town, and so that's how that's worked.
Now, there was a rumor in 1996, and I had my store at 24 Main Street then, in 1996, and we had some very special postcards made, and they were canceled, if you know what a cancellation is.
Mm-hmm.
They were canceled that day by the post office.
Mm-hmm.
And then the next day, they had to use the same stamp. If, like we had some postcards made and ordered some more, and they kept stamping them with the 100th.
Mm-hmm.
And that was a lot of fun. But I recall leading up to that, and that day in particular, there was a rumor going around that Bill Clinton was gonna show up. Do you want to talk about that? I mean, I'll ask you questions. Do you mind?
No, I do recall the discussions, but it's really not under my purview to discuss it. But I do recall some discussions about that.
Oh, okay, all right.
But that's a big undertaking for all security when that elite stature would be coming into town.
Right.
But I know there was talk of it, and it didn't happen. But
right, it did not. That would have been nice, though.
Mm-hmm.
We had Secretary of State Kerry. Is he still Secretary of State?
No,
he's not.
New administration.
Okay. All right, but he was here last year. In fact, I think we have a photo. Can we look at some of these photos, Eric? And oh, by the way, Eric Montville is at the controls as usual. Okay, that's
Dan Clark, the singing trooper.
Yeah, he does a great job, doesn't he?
Singing the national anthem.
What a wonderful job. And there's the secretary, then Secretary of State Kerry, and there's one of his bodyguards. That's the live shot on the right.
Oh, okay.
And that's his bodyguard on the left. There was another one down below chatting with me. And then we have this
Billy
individual.
Mills, 10,000 meter Olympic champion.
That's wonderful. And we have the next one is
our own celebrity in town.
Yeah, he's
Rick McMillan.
Yeah,
retired fire chief.
Yeah, retired fire chief.
Oh, and I know that guy.
And then the next one you're very familiar with. That's your husband.
Yes.
And he is Charles Wallace. The how do we? Don't you usually talk about the highest rank when you talk about someone that has a rank? Would he be the former interim chief or the former lieutenant? What would you
He's
prefer?
the former interim chief.
Yeah, there you go. It's a nice status, huh?
Mm-hmm.
It's a very nice
status. I was quite
status.
proud of his years at the police department, and so was I.
And what an incredible testimony that Lieutenant Porter gave about him.
Yes.
Wasn't that?
Yeah, that was really touching.
That really was touching because you don't want to spoil anyone's reputation. But in fact, Chief Wallace is with us this evening, off to the side, off camera. And if you see anyone pop their head in, it could be him. But I don't think he's going to do that. But that was a wonderful testimony. Where was that given anyway? Oh, when in front of selectmen. Right?
Yes, in front of the Board of Selectmen, and to think that somebody could have, no matter if it was my husband or anybody else in the community, to think that somebody could have such a profound, presence in a young man's life
Yeah.
and really make a difference to his career choice later in life
Right.
is really, I thought the story, and they've been very good friends all along, and was very surprised. I think, drew a lot of tears that day.
It certainly
You
did,
know.
and it was such a surprise because I did not know your husband like that. I mean, he was just a tough guy that was gonna, give me a hard time if I photographed him without his hat on. So, that's only half true.
Well, that's when Chief Irvin, and I think Mick Robert the same way, they were not allowed to go without their hats. It was a sign of respect to the police department, and that was instituted through them, and he carried that on through, the other chiefs, and kind of has, likes that. So.
And I have to say, when we fade out from here, you're going to hear and see. You're going to hear the song by Amanda Maffei, "Run Boston Strong." I hope she doesn't mind us playing it, while you also view some videos, some video clips that I put together with the song of Hopkinton, because we don't have access to Boston. And while I put that together with Amanda doing her song at the same time, a woman came in. It was almost like, did you ever have like just anything feel like, wow, this is coming from somewhere else, some other power, all this stuff, because it was so coincidental. How everything worked, everything meshed. And some of the photos that, or videos I put up fit perfectly with her words. And all of a sudden, while I'm doing all this, putting all this together at the other location, a woman came in and she said, "My son is a helicopter pilot and he's taken some photos, and I wonder if you can use them."
Oh, wow.
And two of the photos were of one of Fenway Park, one of the Prudential Building, and so we have them. Those are at the end, zooming in. Those are the only Boston photos. The other photos were of statues in town and various other things that I had video of, and so it was just, how does this stuff happen? And although I think the song itself never saw the recognition it could have if it had traveled the right path. I told Jack about it. I don't know if Jack LeDuc wants to be named, but you know how shy Jack is. I told Jack about it, and she was in the third wave. I think it was 2 years ago. He actually looked up Amanda's position, her bib number, whatever it is, saw what wave she was going to be in, and played it. Or she was in the
corral.
In the corral. So it was a great. I thought a great moment for her. It was a great moment for me just to hear it and know that I was somewhat a small part of how she put that together. But yeah, and so we're going to play that at the very end, and I hope you all enjoy it, and that's how we're gonna leave it. When did you start with the Hopkinton Committee?
Well, I didn't start with the Hopkinton Committee. I believe it was 98 or 99, but I was on it a year and then was elected chair. And the person that was instrumental in that is Rosemary Lynch. You remember Rosemary
don't
Lynch?
You love Rosemary?
And for all the years I was in town, I remember her running around from from the info booth over to the church and back and forth. And because I volunteered a lot, many years before I got on the committee. The committee was smaller then and was very selective in a small group. And it still remains a small group, but it's expanded to include the various elements of the race that if changes and everything. But I was really privileged to be on this committee and to be the chair. I find it an esteemed honor to be in this position, and I've met some wonderful people all over the world by being involved in the marathon. The marathon has a reputation that is certainly beholding of its tradition, its legacy. So
yeah, and it keeps growing.
Yeah.
And I think the love keeps growing.
Exactly.
You know, the love of that the runners have for this race. Do you have Teddy Bruschi? Or do you have any more photos there? We didn't see Teddy Bruschi, did we?
I think
In
I
this
saw
group?
one of them.
Well, we saw him, but we didn't see him broadcast to the public,
Right.
did we? Oh, there he
That's
is.
at our after party.
Yeah.
We honored him. He had raised so much money for his charity, Teddy's team.
Yeah.
And he's been a great advocate for all charities. He comes to the marathon every year now and cheers. He comes up to the platform and gives a little cheering on for all the runners.
Is that wonderful?
His runners, but every runner.
Yeah.
And especially in the fourth wave, our charity runners that raise millions of dollars.
And
for
that's his
charities.
wife.
Yes.
And you kept that a good secret when he came.
That's exactly right. I didn't want to tell people. A couple of people that I had to let know in town, like the chief or something, knew. But prior to that, I wanted him to be comfortable and for people to go to the party for the right reasons. And that was their little surprise for the evening.
Yeah.
He loved it, and so did she. And he's come back to one other of our parties, and he's just a great guy that I've gotten to know over the years, and certainly a real nice guy.
He sure is an asset to the race.
Yeah.
And I see that we have you with another esteemed citizen.
This is a lady I've gotten to know over the years, Dale Danny. Unbelievable. She's been so generous over the years. In fact, when you look back over the years to what Colella's has meant to this race, it's amazing. And now we see CVS is now, she kind of helped with that situation with, explaining what the marathon, what needed in that area. And Cross Point was also helpful in that. But,
good.
She's enjoying things now at a different pace in life. But you'll see her every marathon. She helps her son who helps with the wheelchair. Marshall's over at the center school, and Alec has been on our committee for many years now.
And he's in the next photo.
That's when he was being appointed that night. So
that's fantastic. He is such a nice young man.
Yes, he is.
He really is. A hard worker too.
Exactly.
And then there's a pretty photo with the bunting in the background and your official tag. And
yes.
From your lanyard.
In 2002, we started, recognizing local veterans here in town.
Yeah.
And it was the BAA has supported that throughout the years, and it really means so much to them when you see a veteran just standing there and tears kind of filling up within the eyes when the anthem is played, and then when they're recognized on the platform. And their name is called up with a brief bio of their service to our country. I think it's, one of the highlights that I see that has grown, over the years. And I think it's a tribute to the race, and also being that it's on Patriots Day and what the BAA has done to, help that over the years has been tremendous. So.
Well, it works out so well. You folks do such a great job putting it all together. The security has been ramped up.
Yes, it has.
Since the tragedy, and
yes.
It is it's very recognizable that it's been ramped up. So that should scare the bad guys away.
Well, it's for the protection of everybody.
Right.
It's a different world we're living in now, and that's the way we have to have it to ensure the safety of others. And it's amazing what all entities around involved in the marathon have done, especially on the public safety side. It's truly amazing and a blessing to have them there throughout the week. And
that's for sure. They didn't share a lot of their changes with even your committee, I think.
No, we're aware of some things, but respectfully, that's up to the public safety officials. That's not my business, and I think they deal with the Tom Groke, the chief executive officer, Dave McGilvery, on those levels. I see it from a local entity, but not, anywhere near, the large. But, it has to be ever since the incident, that we all witnessed. It has to be, and everybody respects that. So when you maybe have to stand to get checked, checked in, and we really would like people not to be bringing bags to the marathon, things like that. you know, but I think in the world we live in today, everybody is very cognizant of what the do's and don'ts of the marathon are these years. So.
Yeah. Well, I think you make it very clear.
Mm-hmm.
In French, I would say "quelle heure est-il?" But it wouldn't be very good French. But maybe. Do you have the time, Eric?
6:20.
6:20. Wow.
Time flies.
Time
when you have
does
fun.
fly, doesn't it? Well, you're doing a great job. I really appreciate it. And you know, when you talked about the hats that Chief Irvin wanted everyone to wear, the caps, the cover, you notice, and you know, I hate to keep referring to this, of course, but it's still on a lot of people's minds when that first explosion went off. You saw a photo of 3 police officers back to back, and
Running towards.
well, at first they were back to back because they didn't know where it was coming from.
Yeah.
And they had their hands on the weapons, and they all had a cap on.
Yeah.
Every one of them had the cover on. So I think that's a good thing for police because what it does, it makes what they do uniform throughout the area and hopefully the country, making their practices uniform and not a mystery to anybody. And I think I wonder. When the police clear a stop, they give the gender and the race of the individual. So that probably adds up, and everyone says, "Oh, looks good." That's the last time. That's the last thing I heard, anyway. Well, what else you got? Anything? Do we have any more photos? Oh, look, you got roses.
Yes, Tim Kilduff gave me roses at one of our wrap-up parties. It was a nice surprise. Appreciate it. That's Dave McGilvery a few years ago at our last meeting at the high school before our big race. So.
Yeah, Dave is the race director.
Mm-hmm. Right. Yeah. Yeah, he's been doing it, and he tweaks it every year just a little bit more and makes it that much better every year. And he's amazing.
And then you have a work of art coming up.
That was presented to the Board of Selectmen, and, one of the vendors on the common, the Army. And I believe that's a picture from the Guard, the changing of the Guard in Washington. And that's just a little...
And now what's this other who are these lovebirds?
I think that was just, we were off to the side talking before.
Yeah.
You know.
Well, that's my photo, right? I took that? Or did I?
I
must
believe
have.
so.
Yeah.
Yeah, these are all your photos.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, I've been. I'm not
You've
stalking
been around
you.
for a long time.
Not stalking you. Just been taking pictures here and there, and now I see you're with a senator.
Senator Spilker, Karen Spilker.
And Tim Kilduff. And you were
giving a presentation for the marathon a few years back.
Oh, wonderful.
You know.
And now this is
That was
very
before.
recent. This is about a month ago. This one coming
Yeah,
up.
a couple of weeks ago actually.
Oh, was it 2 weeks ago?
That Catherine Switzer made a visit to town. We were all very happy. She came and up at the Board of Selectmen's room. We had a little reception for her. And she then did a Skype communication over at the firehouse. So we had our It All Starts Here sign there for a backdrop. And she Skyped to Berlin, Germany with a new 261 Fearless group that she was introducing. But she's a really wonderful person. And that's actually one of the t-shirts. I believe the Fearless group is purple. So in the last minute, we got a t-shirt for It All Starts Here sign, which is our claim to fame. That sign was done in 1979, and it's been around. And in 2 years, it will be 40 years old, that sign.
Wow.
So it's pretty amazing.
Does anyone do like touch up on it?
Yes, we've painted it over the years and touched it up. So...
Well, it's you're all doing a great job. The committee hopefully gets what it wants every year, and as a result, thank you, Eric, by the way, for doing such a great job switching between Dottie and I, or Dottie and me. Sorry, I just almost lost my English composition for a moment, and also for moving back and forth between the pictures and us. Doing such a great job. And you know what we're going to leave everybody with is Oh, you want to say one thing, Don?
I just want to say to everybody, we're 10 days out from the marathon, and I hope everybody that's running for charity or runners that qualified, you just have a great day. And to all the volunteers, there's 950 volunteers in Hopkinton on race day, and to all the departments that partake, the police, the fire, the DPW, the schools, I just want to say thank you, and especially the BAA for running such a great race and really dealing with the town on every, the measures that affect Hopkinton. Has been a pleasure to work with them, and they've been, very generous over the years, and I hope we have a great day come the 17th, and I wish everybody fun and have a great race and make it to the finish line.
That's
it all
right.
starts here.
That's right. So you're going to see the All Starts Here sign at the beginning of the video we're going to play through for you. And at the end, you might want to reflect with a moment of silence after the video. And I'd like to thank Dot for stopping by. Your busy time.
Yes.
And I know it's not easy with all these people that want your time. And thank your husband for bringing you and watching the door.
Yes, my guard.
Appreciate that. And all the people out there that may be watching, I want you to know that there's a caucus going on. The Democrats, I believe, are done at, might be done at 7. I think the Republicans at 8:30, something like that. It's on the top of Hop News right below where we are now. And of course, if you're watching this at another time, not live, but on YouTube, then well, you'll know who is elected at the caucus by that time. But we thank you once again, and we look forward to another great program with another fantastic guest next week. Good night, everyone.
Run, Boston strong, we won't be run asunder. Hate won't win out, love wins the final turn. No turning back, take back our spirited thunder. Spirits forge on as we forge Boston strong. Many forced to sacrifice their good health, life, and ease. Caught in a death trap set by two hearts in deep freeze. Many states, towns, countries came to celebrate the run. Now gone back home to heal their devastation. Run, Boston strong, we won't be run asunder. Hate won't win out, love wins the final turn. No turning back, take back our spirited thunder. Spirits forge on as we forge Boston strong. Some ran back towards the blast to help the common good. Others ran extra miles to give blood 'cause they could. Still others crossed their finish line, souls fighting through the mess. Some stood shell-shocked, some ran away, each one did their best. Run, Boston strong, we won't be run asunder. Hate won't win out, love wins the final turn. No turning back, take back our spirited thunder. Spirits forge on as we forge Boston strong.